Thank you. For the debate, the member from Thorny Hill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to rise today and speak on Bill 177, Domestic and Sexual Violence Workplace Leave, Accommodation and Training Act. We've heard a lot of great input and a lot of great comments, but I think that there's a lot more that needs to be done in terms of just educating the public, Mr. Speaker. But first, I just want to recap a little bit that what this private member's bill put forward by one of our colleagues here is basically to give leave that an employer would have to provide paid leave of up to 10 days to any employee that is a victim of domestic or sexual violence, not necessarily in the workplace, where obviously domestic violence is at home, but we're also very concerned here about the children, and I'm very glad that they added to this private member's bill the fact that the employee would have leave if their child was the victim of any kind of domestic violence or sexual violence. I'm reminded of somebody named Julie. It's Julie S. Lalonde, if you want to look for her on Twitter. And she told an incredible story. I believe she was published in Maclean's excerpts about being harassed by an ex-boyfriend for 11 years until she got a phone call that he was dead. I don't recall if she ever really said if he killed himself or was killed somehow, but he was a young man, and I don't think he died necessarily of natural causes. But she recounts the absolute horror. And what bothers me the most about the whole story is that she really hid it from many of her co-workers and neighbours as much as she can. And that's the part that really breaks my heart, Mr. Speaker, because it takes a village to raise a child. We all agree that communities come together and help with children, but communities need to come together and help adults as well, men as well as women. And it's very hard for people to help if the person themselves isn't able to ask for help or isn't able to share their story, and there's too much stigma against against people who are victims of stalking, of domestic violence, of sexual harassment, of sexual violence. So we have to maybe teach from an early age to teach kids. We don't want to scare kids. We want to empower them to understand that there are people who we may initially love and we may think they love us, but unfortunately they don't have our best interests at heart, and how to go about it, who to tell, who to ask, how to make yourself safe, and how to use the resources that are available. So yes, we're legislators, and yes, we can maybe add this bill as the missing piece of Bill 132. Maybe we can legislate that employees can give time off. But what we really want to do is we want to help these women, and we want to ensure that it doesn't escalate to the point that they need the time off. We want to help them so that they can be safe, so they can have the quality of life that they deserve, and that their children should have a chance at a promising future. So let's look at all the different pieces of this puzzle, and let's put our heads together, there's support from all three parties, and let's move forward. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.